A section of the people from Western region, especially Kakamega, they have aired their frustration on what happened recently about Edwin Sifuna meeting George Natembeya, the governor of Trans Nzoia, and that he was being endorsed by the governor of Trans Nzoia, yet he was supposed to be endorsed by the people of the larger Western region, not an individual. It's something that has angered the people, especially from Western Kenya, who have now aired and poured their frustration, saying that they wanted to support Edwin Sifuna so that he becomes the president of Kenya, but not that he be a project of someone, since according to them, as things are unfolding, he is a project of George Natembeya, and it is for that reason why George Natembeya decided to take Edwin Sifuna to his home, where they made a declaration that is gonna vie for president, and therefore is like now George Natembeya is the one who endorsed Edwin Sifuna instead of the people of Western region at large. Watch this video.
Hiyo project ambao huko ndani tunaijua. Sisi tulikuwa tunajua kwamba Sifuna apangwi na mwananchi, apangwi na mtu binafsi.
Mimi niko na huzuni sana kwa sababu nilipoona Sifuna ameamuka wakiwa na Osozi na Babu Owino, nikajua ya kwamba watoto wetu wameamuka kwa usingizi. Tunaona ni kama tena wewe Sifuna, mtoto ambaye tumeendosi bure na vidomo yetu, na hata kura tunaweza kupea bure bila hata kusema unatafuta pesa. Sisi tuko hapa bure kama Waluya kupea kura bila wewe kuwa na pesa. Chenye tunaomba ni hiki: toka kwa mfuko ya mtu, kujeni nyumbani, msimame kama Waluya na sisi Waluya tuwafate. Na kama sio hivyo, tena mnataka turudishe kura yetu huko kwa Munyoro, hiyo naye hapa hatutakubali. Wamama hatutakubali. Sisi tumesapoti kabila zingine miaka mingi kama Waluya. Tunataka na sisi pia tuitweko rais. Wakina Sifuna wamesoma, Osozi wamesoma.
Mimi nasikitika sana. Juzi nimeona kwa TV kwa mtandao kwamba kiongozi wetu wenye wananchi wamependa sana bwana Sifuna ameenda kwa nyumba ya mtu kuwa endorsed na mtu mmoja mwenye anaitwa Natembeya. Hilo jambo limenikera sana, kwamba miaka ya watu kuwa endorsed kwa bedroom iliisha. Bwana Sifuna, sisi wananchi wamekupenda tu. Wewe jitokeze this time round.
Now that is what they said about Edwin Watenya Sifuna, saying that he should not be coerced into someone's pocket, and then he should not be micromanaged by someone who feels that he is the right person to manage Edwin Sifuna. And according to what they said, Edwin Sifuna is loved and is a darling to everyone, especially from the Western region, and they were so happy that now they've gotten someone who can clinch presidency. But the route that Edwin Sifuna is taking is not the right one, and the people have now rejected that move, saying that Edwin Sifuna should be blessed and also should be endorsed by the many people in Western region. And the unfolding of that day are that Edwin Sifuna plus a few individuals from Bungoma, whom they love each other and they've decided to walk this journey towards 2027, met at George Natembeya's home. And here they had a tete-a-tete where they agreed that Edwin Sifuna should go for president. And for that reason, George Natembeya equally shelved his ambitions to be the president of Kenya and decided to even dump DAP Kenya party that is led by Eugene Wamalwa, and they decided that they should form a party that could steer that boat towards success, towards 2027 election. But again, there are many things that you can read from these people. You can read malice from these people. These are people who are being used by either William Ruto, being used by a mole of William Ruto, maybe Musalia Mudavadi, because they said they come from Kakamega, maybe Musalia Mudavadi or someone else who wants to create disdain and also taint Edwin Sifuna as someone who can be micromanaged by someone else, so that the people of the Western region not to vote for Edwin Watenya Sifuna. You know, I told you yesterday in some videos that I did that William Ruto is not happy that Edwin Sifuna is galvanizing the vote of the Western region, because Ruto knows if the vote of Western region is galvanized, then it will be so difficult for him to win this presidency, because it will be galvanized against William Ruto. And remember, Edwin Sifuna has been consistent saying that William Ruto should not be another, or that should not be the president for another extra 1 year. Therefore, Ruto knows that if the vote will be united, the people of the western part will be united, and then it will be so difficult, so hard for Edwin Watenya Sifuna, or rather so hard for William Ruto to win and defend his seat as the president of Kenya. Now, let's talk and be realistic to some, there's some real issues. You know, George Natembeya is a wave, especially in Trans Nzoia. He has people in Western region who really believe in George Natembeya. He came up with the movement called the Tawe movement, and that movement seems to be, cutting across all the places in the western part, and it is a plus for Edwin Sifuna to bring George Natembeya to his camp. So for Edwin Sifuna going to George Natembeya's place, it doesn't mean that he is in George Natembeya's pocket. On real terms, let us say it, truth, yeah? Let us be honest. Because George Natembeya was being considered in alternative government as a possible contender for the president, or for the presidential seat. Now, for him to shelve his ambitions to support Edwin Sifuna is something big that these people are not seeing, and these people cannot see because they are being used by William Ruto to create conflicts in Western region. I said yesterday in a different video that if there is a way that William Ruto can manage to create conflict among the Westerners, he can do it right now, because he has realized that in Western part is the only region that can help him defend the seat. And now for Edwin Sifuna to come up with a way of bringing on board Bon Halwale, bringing on board George Natembeya, bringing on board other members of parliament, that is a bad indication to William Samoei Ruto. So for Edwin Sifuna to go to George Natembeya, it was not an endorsement. It was an agreement between these leaders that they should walk the same journey ahead of 2027. That is something that these people are missing. So if you ask me, the move by Edwin Sifuna to go and talk to George Natembeya was one of the best moves, one of the intelligent decisions, one of the prudent decisions that Edwin Sifuna made in his political career. You know, George Natembeya does not come as an individual. George Natembeya comes with his Tawe movement. A movement is that you can equate to CF movement. I guess you've seen videos of George Natembeya addressing people in Trans Nzoia. Yeah, he commands a great influence on many people in Trans Nzoia. So for Edwin Sifuna to bring George Natembeya on board, that is a plus. And remember, George Natembeya himself declared that if Edwin Sifuna decides to be the president, or rather to run for president, he will not be seeking votes in the Western region, but George Natembeya will bring people together, those of the same school of thought, so that they can traverse in the 38 constituencies in the Western part. So to make sure that they have hammered support for Edwin Sifuna for his presidential ambition come 2027. So that was a good idea. Number two, Edwin Sifuna was not endorsed at Natembeya's home. Edwin Sifuna, they never said anything about endorsing him. Nothing was said about it. But what happened was a meeting that brought the leaders of different movements together. Now that we have Mimi ni Sifuna movement and also Tawe movement, to make sure that they bring this thing home. So in this meeting, this is where they planned the endorsement, and the endorsement will happen in Bungoma. Bungoma is where Edwin Sifuna comes from. You don't go to Kakamega to be endorsed in Kakamega. Yeah, so that is why I tell you that these people are missing some point. Is either they are ignorant or they are being misused by some politician who is allied to President William Ruto and who is trying to cause disdain and also create animosity between those who support Edwin Sifuna and those who are not supporting Edwin Watenya Sifuna. I don't know what you think. Do you think the meeting at Natembea's house was a plus or a loss to Edwin Sifuna's movement? Right in the comment section. I'll be going through all the comments to see, maybe to hear your opinion, and that can make a basis of whatever we're gonna talk about in the next video. If you are new here, consider subscribing, liking and sharing our content. Hit the notification bell so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time we bring you a new video.